Hello, this is an assessment of a Bechstein Model A grand piano. According to the serial number here, the piano is made in 1910. It's been rather amateurishly put on, this number. The Steinway next door, that's how a serial number should be put on. Underneath Bechsteins, they always have a number on the cross member just below the soundboard. And this one is very, very clear indeed. And that one isn't the piano serial number, but you can work out from that what the serial number should be. The keys are ivory. There's one chip here, but generally in quite good condition. You see those ones have been taken off and put back on. That needs redoing, really. That's not very well done, but otherwise in quite good condition. Now, this is a Model A Bechstein, and probably 50% of Model A Bechsteins of 1910 have the same problem, which is a crack on the frame. So we're just going to see, yeah, definitely one there. We can see very clearly there's a cracked frame. There's been tried to be covered over. There's crack there. If you look up on the internet, Bechstein Model A cracked frame, you're going to find lots of images. Some cracks a lot worse than that. Now let's have a look at the rest of the restoration of the piano. My inclination is already that the whole piano needs fully restoring again because of the cracked frame and for various other reasons. So the cracked frame in itself doesn't write the piano off. Let's have a look. The strings, that's been restrung in the bass. The treble strings are original, I think. The soundboard, it's actually in very good condition, the soundboard, though the badge there, it's not masked over and it's not a new badge, so I think that's all original. If we look at the tuning lever on these tuning pins, actually they are the smallest tuning pins, so that's original tuning pins again. But here they've replaced the bass strings. You can see by the colour of the bass strings too. They've got larger tuning pins in here as well. That means the lever doesn't fit so far down them. Placework is black ebonized. It's not in particularly good condition. It's in quite poor condition, really. We often polyester over because doing black French polish is a really difficult thing to get right. Polyester, like the piano next to it, looks really special. So if we decide to fully redo this piano, then that's the end up at the finish like that. Frame will also look immaculate like that, and of course the soundboard too. I think it's probably what we're going to do if we take on the piano. Now, if the piano is a wood colour, rosewood, like this Steinway here, then we would French polish it. It has 30 coats of French polish and then it's waxed over afterwards. Here's the side of this Steinway. It's really very special grain, so we like to bring out the grain, get the colour so it brings out the most in the grain. A nice inlay on this piano too. Very special piano. Now, it's got a lot of action work done. It's got recovered hammers there. It's had new rollers here and had new felt there, and some of this work's been well done, but the hammers themselves, they're really cheap looking and really cheap sounding. They're not pleasant at all. Here's a new set of hammers we fitted on this Steinway, and you can see the quality of the felt there. It has the undercovering, a much tighter felt, much tighter grain felt. These are Renner hammers, and Renner Steinway. Renner make all Steinway hammers, and there's the top action, actually bottom action too, so the whole replaced action. Normally we replace hammers, shanks and rollers and hinge, because then you get a nice tight hinge pin, whereas if you haven't replaced that, sometimes the hinge pins vary and they're not so tight. So I think we're nearing a decision on this one, that we're going to have to either not buy the piano or redo the whole piano. And we put a new rest plank in as well, because once the tuning pins get large, you could put larger ones in, but possibly, but you really need a new rest plank. And anyway, a modern rest plank is very good for central heating. So we'll be replacing the rest plank. Here you can see it's got some liquid or something on it anyway. Got some nasty damage on the casework here too, but of course that all goes when we fully repolish the piano. A Bechstein Model A, by the way, is 85 keys. That goes up to top A. Compare that to this Steinway next to it. You see it goes up to top C. That's 3 extra keys. Really not used that much, and very, very few pieces of music written for that, because the composers are aware that a lot of people might not be able to play them. And in fact, in the days when the Bechstein was made, probably 50% of pianos were 85 keys. So that's a Bechstein Model A in 1910 coming for assessment with a view for us purchasing it. If we do, we're going to have to fully redo the whole piano. It just has no real tone there. We're going to have to increase the down bearing on the soundboard at that point, I think. That's the playing area that should be really singing. And even the bass strings don't sound, even though they're new. If I take this piano on, I'll make a video of it when it's finished, just so you can see the contrast. Let's have a quick play anyway. So thank you very much for listening.